What's up? What's up? What's up, man? I'm doing we got a solo episode today, you know. Hey, shout out to whoever's in here. Give me 1 second here. Get the chat box up. Yeah. Just playing a little music from some folks that I know. Always good to put on some artists. This is Russell Backwoods featuring Dub Navarre. What's good, Troy? I put my Niners stuff on today. I'm gonna sneak in a little Niners topic real quick. You know what I'm saying? While Mark is away. Mark got better. He got better things to do right now. So, his lady, has a birthday today. So, shout out to Mark. Shout out to his lady. Oh man, camera's going out of focus. There we go. All right, you can hear me good. You can hear me good. We're gonna let this play for a little bit. Hey Troy, I know you got something going on with these playing games, man. What kind of bets you got out there right now? You got some parlays going? Bitch betrayed me, but I turned her to a knife. Bitch betrayed me, she was blinded by the hype gang. Cubes in my cup, looking 2D. Yeah, I'm rolling up some smoke in a new leaf. Yeah, I woke up like a polar bear in the cold. Now I'm whipping with a drip wrist on the stove. Woke up icy. Yeah, we gonna get started as soon as this song finish playing now. I'm gonna let this one rock. Give me one moment here. Woke up icy, designer on my clothes.
I stay tiptoed and laced up like the 90s. Jet skiing with your bitch, no one's behind me. Come find me. Probably got two rolled up. Already going cross-side, just woke up. I'm getting thrown. Polo on my jeans. Making these bars and I feed it to the fiends. Keep my circle tight, man. We all got it.
Okay, so you said D Russell threes and points, Braun points, and AD rebounds. Yeah, nah, I hear you on that, man. Hey, D-Lo been balling, man, and I expect them to get him going in this game. Give me 1 second, man. My kids don't listen.
Rappers and I wake up dreamless. Ride on the low and I keep to myself. Build all my stacks, man. I build all my motherfucking wealth.
Cubes in my cup, looking 2D. Yeah, I'm rolling up some smoke in a new leaf. Yeah, I woke up like a polar bear in the cold.
All right, I'm gonna cut the music.
Woke up icy, I left my heart at home. Woke up icy, I put it in a cone. Woke up icy.
All right. Welcome to the latest episode of the Eye Test. Thank you guys for joining us. All right, first and foremost, I see you say you didn't do the Warriors game. What's the matter, man? It's too risky. Too risky to do the Warriors game. I don't know. You never know with the Warriors. I just don't do bets on the Warriors in general. It's too up and down. You don't know Andrew Wiggins, cats like that. You don't know who's going to score. You don't know who's going to do what outside of Steph. And then the lines they be having for Steph be, a little too outrageous for me. But real quick, gonna just jump right into the first topic here. Get my stuff out of the way real quick, man. Okay, so we got Brandon Ayuk is officially officially requests a trade. Where do you think he would end up, and where would you like to see him go, man? Me personally, as a Niners fan, I would like for him to just stay here. That's what I would like, He's somebody who, when we drafted him, we didn't expect him to be the caliber of wide receiver that he turned out to be. And it seems that happens a lot with us. Kittle did not, he turned out to be even better than we thought he was going to be. Deebo Samuel turned out to be better than we thought he was going to be. Okay? Brock Purdy turned out to be better than we thought he was going to be. Our scouting department be on fire, but the problem is, man, we can't pay everybody. Because now, once they overperform, now they want that money. So, with Brandon Ayuk, I just feel like this trade, the trade is coming. Either we trade him and get something, either we trade him and get something for him, or we let him go for free and we force him to play this season. So if the Niners are thinking, hey, let's go all in for a championship right now, then yes, we keep him. We don't trade him. We try to get a chip. We try to make a Super Bowl run this year. First off, okay, I'm gonna get to that. But yeah, we if we're trying to make a Super Bowl run this year, we keep him. We have to trade this guy. We cannot afford him. We absolutely cannot afford him. And all this, we can do all the restructuring in the world that we want to do. Somebody has to leave this squad in order for it to work. My biggest thing about it is this. Kyle Shanahan, if he's every bit of the coach that he's supposed to be, what he would do is he would let Debo walk. Debo is costing us a lot of money, and Debo has an availability problem. Okay? You trade Debo in this and you keep Ayuk, but you can't trade away the heartbeat of the team. And that's the problem, man. It's always the problem. It was the same thing with Jimmy. So, but honestly, where I would like to see him go, I would like to see him paired up with Justin Jefferson. Or I would like to see him with a quarterback in a system that would actually benefit him, feature him, or showcase his route running ability, man. So to me, I would like to see him with the Chiefs, as much as it pains me to say that. Obviously, as a Niner fan, I don't want him to go to the Chiefs. But as a fan of Brandon Ayuk and somebody that wants to see him succeed, that to me is the perfect scenario for him, is to go to the Kansas City Chiefs, where he will absolutely be the number one receiver. He'll have Patrick Mahomes throwing to him. The schemes that Andy Reid will come up with for him would be amazing. Okay, so I personally think that that's the best place that he can land. They seemingly have the cap space to do it. I don't think the Niners organization would ever trade any players of any value to the Chiefs. So that's dead. But yeah, you say, Troy, you said, let me bring that up. Troy says he's the route runner Debo strives to be. Yeah, I wouldn't even say Debo even strives to be that great of a route runner. I think Debo is who he is, and he knows what his identity is. Debo understands that I'm just here to catch the ball. That's it. That's the only objective. We don't care how I catch the ball. We don't care how you guys get the ball in my hand. Get the ball in my hand and allow me to have enough space to make my first step. If you give me that, I can do the rest. That's Debo's role. Debo understands what he's supposed to be doing. He ain't striving to be that type of a route runner. But Ayuk, man, I honestly think Ayuk became the route runner that he became because, I mean, he was already pretty good coming out of college, but I think Kyle Shanahan sitting him on the bench to start his second season for no apparent reason, I think he's one of those guys that he takes that stuff personally. You know, shout out to MJ. He takes that personally and he says, you know what? Nah, I'm going to make you look crazy out here, Kyle Shanahan. I'm going to make you look crazy for keeping me on the bench. You know, I feel like there was a little bit of spite to his game. You know what I'm saying? So now that he's gotten here, now I'm sure he got over that. And then now it's like, wait a minute, man, I'm an all-pro and you telling me you don't want to pay me? Now it's back to being spiteful. If we keep him, we might actually get a crazy year from Ayuk. You know what I'm saying? If we keep him this season. Yeah, Strider Blaze says Ayuk needs to stay. Him and Purdy got that lock. You're absolutely right, man. The chemistry that they have between the two of them is undeniable. And to be honest, man, the only other player that has that level of chemistry with him seems to be Jawan Jennings, but he's the third guy for a reason. So, but yeah, no, Jawan, like, he doesn't have the same chemistry with Deebo Samuel. He doesn't have that same chemistry with Kittle. I feel like he has better chemistry with Kittle than he does Deebo. But either way, if we lose Ayuk, that seriously damages what we can do offensively. Just because when all the gadgets and all the tricks and all the plays that Kyle Shanahan draws up, when those don't work, the one thing that we can rely on is Brandon Ayuk finding a way to get open because of his route running ability. And he's the only player on our team that has that. You know, and I feel like Jawan Jennings is great, but if you look at a majority of his catches, his route running is average at best, and then he's making an amazing catch while covered. You know, Debo was getting drags and turning them into 25-yard gains. If whenever we go up against a good man defense, that stuff gets immediately stopped, and then we don't have anything other than Ayuk, and we just pray that he could get open. So, yeah, no, or we have to abuse the mismatch of whoever is trying to guard CMC or cover CMC out of the backfield. So, yeah, I feel like Ayuk means too much to the offense at this point, especially with Brock Purdy at quarterback. We cannot do that. Either way, we're gonna move on to the next. I know. Actually, real quick before we move on, I said like I said, I wanted to know where you guys think he would end up, or where you guys would like to see him. I already said where I wanted to see him, or where I think he should end up. I gave you two. I gave the Vikings and I gave the Chiefs. If you guys don't mind giving me an answer to that, man, I appreciate it. Yeah, I'm just curious to see what everybody else thinks. I'm a Niners fan. I'm biased. I've been watching this dude. I've been watching this dude since pre-draft. All right, so I'm biased. I'm always curious to see what NFL fans think of the Niners players, the guys that are, fans that aren't a fan of the Niners, Okay. Got a comment here. Yeah, Strider Blaze says Kansas City or the Ravens. The Ravens was third on my list. I didn't mention the Ravens because I just don't. I believe he'll be in the same situation for him, right? He'll be in the same situation that he's in now. That offense is going to feature Lamar Jackson. It's going to feature whoever's running the ball there at the time. And then after that, it's going to feature Mark Andrews. And then it's going to feature the number one receiver. And then right now they got Zay Flowers, and you're going to be competing with that. Yes, you should be over Zay Flowers, but at the same time, I don't think that's I don't understand why he would leave the Niners to walk into that situation, to be in the same situation that he's in right now. So, but yeah, but it would be dope as fuck to see Lamar Jackson throwing the ball to Brandon Ayuk. That would be dope. All right, gonna move on to the next topic. This heads up, man. This is not gonna be a long show. I know we say that all the time, but it's just me here. So, all right, for our next topic, we got for the next topic, we have the WNBA 2024 draft class impact. Will this be the year the WNBA makes money? Will you be watching? I'm asking this question because this was a loaded draft class. I know some of you guys have seen the memes where they're showing these folks are one high school class, and if you go back to the scouting reports, all of them are rated 5 stars. All of them were rated a 98 out of 100, and they seemingly have lived up to the hype throughout their college careers, and then now they have moved on to the WNBA. So right now, this current WNBA class, draft class, seems to be the best WNBA draft class in WNBA history. You've never seen 5 possible franchise-changing players all come out at once in one draft. But I just have a question for you guys. Will you be watching? That's really the question. Is will you guys be watching? This is the first season that this is the first season since Brittany Griner, got out of college that I said, you know what? I want to see what these players look like going up against the current WNBA players. This is the first time I felt like that in a long time. And I myself am probably, I plan on, I'm not going to say probably, I plan on watching some WNBA games, And I have a daughter that plays basketball, or that used to play basketball. I'm talking about taking my daughters to a WNBA game if I get a chance. Vegas ain't that far away. We could go catch an Aces game. If we get a chance to see Caitlin Clark or any of the girls from this class that I would like to see. So, yeah. But yeah, so either way, man, I've never felt like this, so I just assume I'm not the only one that's saying, okay, I'm gonna go take a look. Okay, Strider here says, think the NBA will get some traction if Caitlin is drafted. The draft already happened. Caitlin is drafted. She is going to be playing for the Indiana Fever. Okay, so she has been drafted. This is it. As soon as the NBA season is finished, you're going to have WNBA season starting, and everybody will have the opportunity to watch Caitlin Clark play in the WNBA if they see fit. Troy says they pushing Caitlin like crazy. Bleacher Report: Caitlin Clark, first player to wear Prada in the men's or women's draft. Look, man, okay. You know what? We're gonna stop right there on that topic real quick, because talk about pushing Caitlin Clark, man, bro. Hey, they're doing some really weird things with the Caitlin Clark stuff right now, and by weird, I mean they are legitimately trying to force us guys to be attracted to her, bruh. They are trying their best to make it seem like we are attracted to her, or we should be, man. Yo, if I see another post on my timeline, if I see another article on my timeline that says, wow, Caitlin Clark shocks everybody with the outfit in her off the court attire. If I see another article, man, anytime that woman is not wearing a basketball uniform and there's pictures and video involved, they making a post trying to say, oh man, look at her, she looks good, jaws dropping, man. Let's be 100%, man. I have never once hey, yo, shout out to River Oaks. Thank you. Hey, real rap. There's no way, man. I've never in my life looked at Caitlin Clark and my jaw dropped. It just never happened, man. I don't understand why they're trying to do this, man. But I think maybe I do. They see Angel Reese is doing that. They understand how it works. They're WNBA players. If they can sell beauty, you know what I'm saying, then that can get them more endorsements. That could get them to the point to where, they can make more money. Or they can make not just that player more money or more marketable. They can make the WNBA more marketable. But look, man. Hey, dudes ain't fighting in line to go worship Caitlin Clark. It's just not happening. They need to stop it. All right? Right. Shout out to Strider. All right. We'll catch you next time, man. All right. Here we go. I've been watching. I don't think the casuals are. I think it will grow, but not super crazy. Okay. Now, Troy, real quick. The reason why I brought this topic up is because I believe that if ever there was a chance for the WNBA to actually generate revenue instead of finishing in the red, this would be the year, this would be the year. Obviously, they might have a better chance the year after, but I feel like this is going to be the year. Yeah, so that's the reason why I brought it up. It's not going to be nothing crazy. I don't think anything's going to change as drastic as people think it is, but I do believe that they do have a chance to really capitalize on what's happening here. And if they're smart, if their PR team is worth their weight, that they'll figure out a way to market the WNBA a lot better and be able to, push the sales, ticket sales, jersey sales, and all that stuff, man. I seen grown men already buying jerseys, man. So, they absolutely need to figure this out. I don't care if they got to take out a loan from the NBA, an extra separate loan or something, so they could pay for advertisement. I don't care, but they got to do something, because if they don't capitalize on this, then the WNBA might as well just shut down. All right. Troy says they trying to get her to appeal to us like Paige Beckers do. But Paige hangs around black people, so it's not gonna happen. Hey, look, you can say that she hangs around black people. She just looks better, bro. She looks better. She got better swag. She dressed better. Everything. Like, she just better. Like, I don't know what to tell you, man. Like, when I see Caitlin Clark, and I don't want to, I don't want to classify anybody, but I'm just saying, we are not interested in Caitlin Clark, and it doesn't seem that she's interested in us. That's what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna keep it that way. I don't want to say anything else. But yeah, that's the way it comes off as to me. That's the vibes that she gives. Homegirl vibes. Here we go. Said, I think the college games be so great is because they support in the colleges. They don't follow the players once they go to the WNBA. That's part of it. That's part of it. Let's be honest, man. Like, even when it comes to the men's side of things, the fandom and the fanhood for the NCAA basketball teams is there's a lot more fanfare. There's a lot more diehard loyalists to the schools than there are for the fans of the teams. If you ask a lot of people today that are, let's say, under the age of 30, they're not really even fans of teams anymore. They're fans of players, and that's how it works. Everybody's a fan of a player now. Nobody really, you don't hear the young folks saying, oh man, I'm just a ride or die, Thunder fan. You'll hear them talk like that about NFL teams, but they do not talk like that about basketball teams. They are only following players in the men's sport. But at least the players are big enough. They're a big enough name. They have big enough star power where that could carry them. That could carry the NBA. And then the games are exciting. WNBA, when they leave college and go to the WNBA, that following from the college teams does not carry over. You're right. But I think the biggest issue is there's also, it's not readily available. You can watch women's college games, especially even if you don't see them during the season like that, which I do believe I see them on TV way more than WNBA games. Once the tournament comes, that's it. It's a wrap. That's all you see. Advertisement everywhere. So there's way more money that comes in, from the college sports because they're not paying these athletes, and they could use that money to spend. They got the booster clubs and all that nonsense going on. There's a lot more revenue that they can pull from to advertise in college, and then they don't have that ability in the WNBA. I believe that if they did have access to the amount of funds that the college universities had, then there's a chance that the WNBA could be popping like the women's basketball, but women's college basketball. But without the money, without the without the March Madness, it's just WNBA cannot compete with women's college basketball. Yeah. But yeah, we'll see though. We will see. We'll see if we're right about that, you know. All right, we're gonna move on. We're gonna move on to the next topic. We have Luka, Jokic, and and Giannis. Okay. ... and Giannis. What and before we get into what really makes an MVP, I'm just going to talk about the MVP race right now. Right now, everybody's basically saying, you know, this, you know, because of the last couple games that Jokic has had, Jokic is now the front runner for the MVP. They're basically saying it's his, you know. So we'll see how that turns out. But, you know, coming down to the wire, it was Luka, Jokic, and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Giannis had a triple-double somewhere in there, so people were trying to throw him back into the conversation. But nonetheless, this is Jokic's award to lose every season, barring Embiid stays healthy, and that's what it seems to be. Real quick, I'm going to get to these comments here by Mark. Okay. I know you said nope about the WNBA, said WNBA needs more personalities in the game. Here's my issue with that, Mark, and this is what it feels like they don't promote their personalities when they have them. So I agree they need more personalities, but they don't promote them when they have them. Biggest personality that I have ever seen in the WNBA is Diana Taurasi. Diana Taurasi is going viral every other week for her commentary on games, because she's doing the whole sexual innuendo stuff. She's cracking jokes. She's drinking. You can tell she buzzing really good. She's just cracking jokes. She's like the let me put it this way. She's essentially the wow, I'm losing it right now. But Pat McAfee, that's who it is. She's basically the Pat McAfee when it comes to women's basketball commentary. Okay? She comments on the NBA games too, but Diana Taurasi has Pat McAfee type energy, and I like watching her. So it's one of those things where not only is she like that now as somebody who's doing that stuff outside of the game, but when she was on the court, she was like that. You can look at a highlight reel right now on YouTube of Diana Taurasi barking on chicks, crossing people up, hitting the game winner, and then running down on people, talking in their face, and then they go interview her after the game, and she's still talking. The WNBA has had personalities. They just don't showcase them. They don't groom them. They don't. Me personally, I think the WNBA, it's almost like they look down on that type of personality. It's all, I don't know why. Maybe it's because it's we don't want that. We want to stand out as our own entity in the WNBA. That feels like more of an NBA type personality. Look, we don't want to feel like we have to do what the men do for us to get attention, And I know that's a big thing for them. That's why they don't want to lower the rims. They're forget dunking. Nah, we're not trying to do that. There's a lot of things that they don't want to do because it feels like, hey, we don't want to be compared to the men, or we don't want to feel like we're doing what the men do just so that we can get attention. So, but yeah, so either way, man, they don't promote those personalities when they get them. So, if right now they're getting a couple of personalities, and I'm not talking about Caitlin Clark. She's not maybe you say she's a personality. She does have a following, all that. But between her and Angel Reese, you're getting personalities. We'll see what they do with them. But Mark, I don't know if you missed that part, but that's what I was saying. They have to, if they got to take out a loan, if they got to mortgage houses and stuff, do what they got to do. But the WNBA has to put money. They have to put more marketing money behind this season than they have any other season in their existence. Okay. Troy says, the only team I see where the city fully supports the teams, win or lose, is the Aces. The ATL Dream is doing a good job too. Yes, I'll be honest with you. Vegas has been starving for a team so bad. Bro, they came out full force for the Golden Knights when they showed up. And every team that has since arrived to Vegas has gotten the same amount of undying support. Las Vegas has quickly turned into a sports city, like a hard body sports city, man. They support they support the pro soccer team. They support the Aces to the fullest. They support the Golden Knights to the fullest. The A's are the Oakland A's are moving there. The Raiders are getting that support. Like, then you can say the Raiders already had a fan base, right? But yeah, the Vegas people do go out and support. So yeah, great city. Nah, man, but here we go. It said they definitely need to lower the rim a foot. These snitches need to dunk. Hey, look, man. Hey, look. Imagine this, Mark. Imagine this. Come with me. Take a walk with me. You know. Hold on, I'm gonna get to this comment first before I get any further. Say ATL Dream get love because people showing up thinking it's that other women's league. Yo, what do you mean by that, Mark? What other women's league are you talking about, man? You know, what are you talking? Maybe I seen it, maybe I haven't. I don't know. Look, man. I mean, I can see how they make that mistake. You're in Atlanta. It's called the ATL Dream. Kind of sounds like adjacent to Magic City. You know, you're like, okay, well, I'm gonna go check out this game. I got you. But yeah, but back to what I was talking about. Look, they need to dunk, right? Look. All right, Mark, you got me. All right, look. But let's talk about the dunking thing. Imagine this, Mark. Take a walk with me. Imagine, everybody remembers these iconic dunks. Like, imagine a dunk like Shaq on Chris Dudley. You know, just a nasty dunk on them, and then the shove afterwards into the crowd. Like, imagine that happens in a WNBA game. Like, if that happens at a WNBA game, the crowd's going to go crazy. I don't care what you're there. You don't even have to know anything about basketball. You see a play like that happen, and you're going berserk. Like, absolutely, Duncan would do numbers. It would do amazing things for them, you know. But right now, they'll take the next best attraction, Mark, which is the long ball. Chicks dig the long ball. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna have Caitlin Clark out there shooting from Steph Curry range, and that'll do it right now. So. Said, hey yo, I think I seen Dwight Howard courtside at that. Hey, look, as long as he was courtside and not on the court at one of those other league games, then we good. You know what I'm saying? That's it. Hey, Troy, so Troy, if you've been to some games, Troy, you gotta let us know how the experience was, man. Hey, don't offline. We talk offline, man. Gotta let us know, man. All right, now we can move on. We can get back to the topic that we were supposed to be on. All right, we have Luka, Jokic, Shea, Giannis. We talked about the MVP race. Talk about how Jokic is leading the race. It's basically a foregone conclusion, according to a lot of the NBA media. Do I need to pick a side? That's crazy. All right, but yes, The MVP race, it seems to be Jokic's, and then, but really, I'll be honest with you, man. The interesting thing about this MVP race to me is, there's a lot of people that are lobbying for Luka, and there's a lot of people saying that they don't care what analytic numbers say about Jokic. They're saying that with their eyes, obviously, once Embiid got hurt, that took him out of the race. But with their own two eyes, they're watching Luka just obliterate teams that are supposed to be rivals. And they're watching Luka fill up the stat box. They're watching Luka average an ungodly number of points. And they're watching him have an impact on the team. And people are saying, I don't care what Dallas's record is. Luka Doncic should be the MVP, man. So this is where I get into the question of what really makes an MVP, because this season's MVP race seems to be different than all the previous ones that we've had the last 3 or 4 years. Since Jokic has been winning, everybody's been telling us it is not about, you know what, that is the old way. Wins, team with the best record, the best player on the team with the best. Everybody was telling us that now they want to change it because Jokic is doing things analytically that are anomalies. And everybody's saying they've never seen anything, and it also matches with what they're seeing with their own two eyes and saying, hey man, he's just impacting the game on all levels except for defense. But he's impacting the game on so many levels. We have to acknowledge this, and now the analytics back it up, so we're going to go with that. Right? Now, that's what it's about. Okay, cool. Then we have the Embiid MVP, and the defensive analytics, all the efficiency stuff still was applying to him. Now, granted, he wasn't having as big of an impact on the team as far as you talk about win shares and all that stuff, but they were like, no, when he's on the court and he's playing like this, he's winning. He's giving people 50, it seems like, every time he goes against somebody good. So then they're like, but the analytics still support Embiid, so we're going to go with that. Everything has been about the analytics and about the efficiency stats and about win shares and all of these things, defensive win shares. And now all of a sudden, people are tired of it already again. Now, people have been tired, but the media is now trying to tell us that Jokic should be the front runner instead of Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and instead of Luka, because of the eye test. It's just weird, man. They just keep changing it. And it seems like they're just changing the narratives to fit whatever is going to give Jokic the MVP, man. Because if you look at wins and losses, last time I checked, OKC was the number 1 team. Okay? OKC is the number 1 team right now. I don't understand why people just kind of, it's almost like they look at Shai Gilgeous-Alexander like it's a nice story, or he's too young, or they have a nice young squad, and even though they're the number 1 seed, we don't expect them to beat anybody. They're just, OKC is just not getting any respect as a whole as a team, and then Shai is getting disrespected at this point. And then I look at Luka, who doesn't have the wins, right? And I'm going to assume that the analytics don't support him more than the other players. But somehow, but that's for the fans. I'm hearing the outcry from the fans that want Luka. So I think the fans are starting to wake up, man. The fans are starting to wake up a little bit. And then Giannis, they literally tried to squeeze him in there towards the end because the man started playing good, started putting up big numbers or had a triple-double towards the end of the season. Man, I really hate that we do this every year. It's like, oh man, it's the MVP race. And then the last 5 games of the season come, And then it's everything that happened before that doesn't matter. It's almost like they're treating it like the playoffs. The last 5, if you've made it to the finalists in the MVP race into the last 5 games of the season, everything you did back before then means nothing. We're starting at 0 with these last 5 games, and whatever you do in these last 5 games is going to determine who's going to win this race. Yeah. Hold up. I'm gonna bring up these comments because these are great comments. Yeah. So Troy, I did see you said you would go with Shea. My vote would be for Shea. My vote would absolutely be for Shea. Okay. And then here we go. He said the way that he's leading that pack is amazing. It's not easy to get the young fellas on board and follow your lead. It's no vets on that team. Thank you. Everybody that he's playing with is his age. They're all his. Like, why should I listen to you, man? You came in the same year that I came in. Why should I listen to you? You're 1 year, you're 2 years older than me. Why should I listen to you, man? You're not no vet. Like, you're not no you're not no superstar. Like, they don't talk about you like they talk about Dame. They don't talk about you like they talk about the rest of these dudes. Like, why should I listen to you? Right? Why should I follow you? So yes, and people talk about it. People, the common observation from fans and media alike is that younger teams are harder to deal with because they don't want to listen to anybody. That's why LeBron don't want a young team going into the playoffs, because they will be undisciplined. Okay, that's his thought process. They're going to be undisciplined. They're not always going to listen. They're not going to understand. They're not just going to do as I say. They're like, the vets understand. They all understand what playing a role is. These young dudes want the shine. You know what I'm saying? They want to show off their bag, you know? So you got a team full of young folks that were all, for the most part, a lot of those guys were highly touted coming out of college. And you're getting them all to play their part and play their position, and you're feeding them all, and you're doing everything you need to do, even leading them in points and all that stuff. Like, people forget, like, Chet Holmgren being on that team is kind of crazy, man. Like if Shea wasn't playing the way that he was playing right before Chet got there, Chet was supposed to be that person. He was supposed to be the leader of that team. So, nah, man, to me, you have to give it to him. For a young dude to be a leader in that way, at that young of an age, and lead a young team that everybody expects young teams to not be able to go far into the playoffs. They're coming in as a number 1 seed. I feel like you have to respect that and you have to acknowledge it. And the only way to do that, to me, is you look at his numbers. He has the numbers for MVP. You look at the wins. He has the wins for MVP. You have the eye test. I'm looking at it. And I hate to do this, but you can put a bunch of other people on that team in his position, and I don't believe that you get the same results. So, to me, that says a lot. I feel like they need to get that young man his MVP, but right now, all the polls are saying that Jokic has a clear lead. So, to me, I'm gonna explain it to me. Here we go. What makes an MVP to me? What makes an MVP to me is I would like to see you operating at a level and having an impact on your team. Like, I need to see what it looks like when you're not there, and I need to see what it looks like when you're gone. Okay? Give me 1 minute. Bear with me. All right, sorry, just had to take a moment. It's just me and the kids in here today, so unfortunately, that means I gotta play father too here. So, but yes, back to what I was saying. What makes an MVP to me is you have to have an impact. You have to have a visible impact on the team, not just scoring, not just getting assists, not just filling up the stat box, right? I need to see that your presence makes everybody better. For example, Mark will like this. Look at the Clippers this year. Russ is there. Amazing. Harden shows up, gets a little wobbly. Russ decides to go to the bench because he knows that Harden ain't gonna go. He goes to the bench, everything's working right. Amazing. Westbrook gets hurt, everything goes in the tank. Westbrook comes back, they're missing Kawhi, everything is still going. Okay? Visible impact on the on wins and losses, on overall team play, overall team efficiency, and the spirit of the team, man. Let's be honest, man. The spirit of the team. We looking at the Warriors right now. Their spirit is dead. Okay? They ain't got no spirit right now. They ain't got no whatever they had when they had their run. They don't got it no more. It's gone. You know what I'm saying? Russ brings that energy to the team, man. He gets everybody hyped and excited to play, man. So, I'm not saying Russ should be MVP, but that's an example of what I expect an MVP candidate to have. You have to have that. The Nuggets rally around Jokic. You know what I'm saying? I need to see that. I need to see the team buying in because you're there. All right? I need to see the stats, obviously. I need to see the leadership. To me, leadership is a big deal. You can't just go out there and be KD and score a bunch of points and then not lead the team. To me, you can't be Kawhi either. You can't just show up, dominate, do all these things, and then not be an actual leader on the squad. I need to see that. I prefer my MVPs to play defense, but I understand in today's NBA that's different. But if not, then I need you to not be a liability on defense. And if you're going to be a liability, you better be Jokic. you better be Jokic, and you understand what I'm saying there. You better be Magic Johnson if you're going to be a liability on defense. So that's what I need to see. But all the analytics stuff, that don't matter to me. Wins and losses do matter, but they matter in a sense of what were we expecting from this team? And what would we expect from this team if you weren't playing above the rim? If you weren't playing outrageous basketball? Are you taking a team that nobody expected to make the playoffs and then becoming the 4th seed? Because that means more to me than you taking a number 1 seeded team that just came off of a championship run and then you bringing them back, but now you're the 2nd seed. Yeah, expectations versus output matters when it comes to wins. That's the way I grade wins in MVP conversation. So yes, Giannis shouldn't even been in this conversation. Either way, I'm gonna move on. It's enough MVP talk here. All right, we got the last topic of the night. Okay, we have the NBA playoffs are here. What are your predictions? Real quick, I'm gonna go ahead and just pull up. The score right now because I know we have a game happening right now as we speak. We have the Lakers versus the Pelicans. The game started about an hour and a half ago. Let's see what we have here. You know what? Trying to bring it up on the computer is a problem for me. I'm going to pull it up on my phone and take a look.
Looks like you lost another one.
see what I do for y'all? I'm over here sacrificing, missing the game. All right, the Lakers are up 60-50 with 11:28 left in the third. But I know it's too late for a prediction for that, but I was already predicting the Lakers were going to win. It's just two things that I believe. Number one, NBA ain't going to let it happen. Number one, they're not going to let them lose. Ain't no way. You know what I'm saying? You have a chance to get Lakers versus Nuggets right now. Nah, man, they're not going to let them lose. They're going to win the game. Nothing else to say here. But number two, they're just a veteran team. They got more vets. And when it comes down to it, that matters. The Pelicans, they're not ready for this stage. They're going to lose this game. And I fully expect them to just not look good. You know what I mean? I expect them to not look good at all. The next game that they play after losing this, I expect them to lose that too. But either way, there was like a 0% chance that the Lakers lose this game. NBA wants Lakers Nuggets again. And to get that in the first round to make because let's be honest, man, last year was an anomaly. First round was popping last year. That usually don't happen. And one way to ensure that the first round is going to be intriguing enough to get people to watch is have the Lakers play the Nuggets. All right, Nuggets sounds weird. Nuggets having a down year, number 2 seed, whatever. But Nuggets are having a down year compared to what they were doing the year before. So, and then you have the Lakers who were scraping, they're scraping to get into the playoffs. No Diddy, not scrapping and scraping. I like it when no Diddy. But that's what they did to get here. So, you got one team that was trying to maintain, you have another team that was going up. So, either way, that's what's going on. I'm not going to get into all the different seeded teams. I'm only going to talk about the ones that I think are important. OKC is going to do a lot better than people think. I do think that OKC has what it takes to come out of the West. I just believe in the players outside of the superstars more on Denver than I do OKC. Plain and simple. All the rest of the West teams, I don't trust them. This is like a first in a long time. I only trust 2 teams in the West. OKC and the Nuggets. So everybody else, I don't trust them. That's who I trust. And then on the East, it seems like another season of anybody can get it. I know they're talking about how the gap between the number 1 seed and the number 2 seed in the East is cavernous. You know what I'm saying? It's like a valley. But nonetheless, outside of the number 1 seed, everybody can get it, man. Everybody can absolutely get it in the East. So I'm expecting upsets again this year in the NBA playoffs on the Eastern side. Who will it be? I don't know. I just know that Boston has been on cruise control for like 3 months. And I feel like I don't think there's any teams that can compete with Boston. I thought that before the season started, and it's just showing itself to be true. So that before the season started, that's who I predicted was coming out of the East. I had no reasons to believe they wouldn't, and they did exactly what I thought they were going to do all season. It's Boston versus everybody. Sixers surprised me this year until Embiid got hurt. I just do not think that they could. Embiid has come back and started balling like he never left, but I just don't think that team chemistry is going to be as locked in as Boston is right now. So, but I'm expecting upsets. I don't know if this is going to be the year that the Sixers make it to to the Eastern Conference Finals. So, but either way, they're not going to beat Boston. Nobody beats Boston coming out of the East. I'm just excited to see teams like New York play. You know, some of the Miami. I like to see these teams play in the playoffs, and I think these playoffs are going to be excited in the East, on the West. You're going to see some people get destroyed, but you're going to also see a lot of offense. So, I mean, you want to see the Suns put up a bunch of points and then completely lose the series 4-1. You know, if that's your brand of basketball, don't worry, it's coming. Oh yeah, and the Warriors playing versus the Kings tonight. I personally have the Kings winning. The Warriors will not come out of this alive. Sorry, Warriors. You did all that fighting to get here, and now it's going to end tonight. So, all right. Any questions? Anybody got any comments? Anything that you want me to talk about before we shut this operation down? Please, in the comments, please throw me something. Throw me something. Pause. Throw me some questions. Okay. Yeah, okay. The Kings miss Monk bad. They do. They do miss Monk bad. It is horrible timing for him to go down. The Kings are going to be looking for revenge. The Kings are more prepared this year than they were last year. I feel like the chemistry is off in Golden State, and I feel like that's going to matter. That playing the way that he has all season, that's going to matter. The small details that usually got the Warriors through times like this, I don't think they're going to be there, and that's going to be the difference maker. I do believe that it'll be a game that goes down to the wire. Here we go, Chris. Got Chris here, Christopher Blade Denim. I know the answer, but why isn't LeBron on an MVP race? It's kind of upsetting to see. Chris, you gotta let that go, buddy. You just gotta let that go. LeBron ain't on the MVP race because he's not supposed to be. You can't. Okay, I know I talked about things that I would like to see from an MVP or what makes an MVP candidate. This one I didn't say because I felt like it didn't need to be said. Consistency, man. Consistency. You can't have as many inconsistencies or time periods to where you wasn't balling like that. You can't have stretches like that, like LeBron has had this year. You cannot, man. He is too, at this point in his career, he will never be consistent enough, okay, to where he will ever be in another MVP race. And I'm saying that not because he's not great. I'm saying that because we're talking about unprecedented talents that are in the MVP race for years to come. Jokic is, to me, in my eyes, he's an all-time great already. In my eyes, barring injury or him just saying, I quit because I don't want to play basketball anymore because this was just a hobby for me. Barring that, Jokic is going to finish as to me, he's going to finish as a top 5 center in league history. Maybe higher. Top 3 center in league history. I don't know. There was a lot of great centers. I'm just telling you, Jokic is already that good. LeBron can't play consistent enough to compete with somebody like Jokic in the MVP race. He can't. Even with the injuries, I don't think he can compete with Embiid. Those two guys alone, and then we're not even talking about Giannis. Like, what are we talking about here? LeBron is not supposed to be in the conversation at all. And if you want to be real, Shai fills that role of the guy that does everything and uplifts his team and gets the most wins out of them, more wins than anybody ever expected. Like, Shai fills that role already. And that's really, and that's it, man. Like, there's no way that LeBron ever ends up in the MVP conversation ever again. Unless he all of a sudden decides to play lockdown defense for an entire season. That's the only way he ends up back in the conversation. Anything else? Y'all got any other questions? All right, we have just hit the hour and 1 minute, hour and 2 minute mark here, man. Hey Troy, we did it to you again. You ain't getting your 2 hours. You know what I'm saying? You ain't getting no 2-hour episodes no more, man. I'm trying to clean it up. trying to condense this, make it a little more digestible. Okay. Not seeing anything pop up on my okay. 2 hours next week. Look, nah, man. Me and Mark, we're gonna have a sit down before the show starts. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna get in the green room and we're gonna have to talk about this and be like, look, man. We started out by saying we never go 2 hours, and ever since then, it's been 2 hours, and Troy's been enjoying it. We told him he can't get used to it because it's not gonna happen again. And ever since then, it's been 2-hour episodes. Nah, I'm gonna tell Mark we gotta stop that. We can't like Troy has already got enough of what he wanted. Okay, we're done here. He's cut off. That's it. So we're gonna have to. Me and Mark gonna have this conversation before we get on here. Don't even worry about it, Troy. 2 hours next week. We'll see. We'll see if it's 2 hours next week. Doing a live for draft day. Very complicated question, man. Very complicated question. It really depends on our schedules. I got a lot of stuff coming up right now. So draft day, a draft day live is not seeming very likely right now. But if it's possible, we will absolutely do it. I'm just trying to tell you that it doesn't look like it's going to line up for us to be able to do it. All right, like for example, hey, yeah, you see him, Mark? You see him, Mark? You see him, right? Yeah, talk to him. Hey, we laughing over here. We ain't paying no attention to that, Troy. Nah, the NFL draft. So round 1 is Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern. Rounds 2 and 3 are Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern. Really, that's what we care about, right? We just care about that first round, the first day of the draft. Like I said, it really depends. I am planning for an out-of-town trip. I'm either going to be leaving that night or I'm going to be leaving Friday. So I'll be driving to Vegas. So that's the deal for me. But we'll figure it out. I'm going to tell you right now, when I get to Vegas, I ain't doing no streaming. Okay? When I get there, no streaming happening. Okay? So if I leave on Friday, then we'll get the first. if we leave on Friday, we'll get the first round live. Mark, hey, come on, man, don't do that. Talk about we do it 2 hours next week. Don't front. Come on, Mark, man. We can do this, man. We can get this done in less than 2 hours, man. We can, bro. You gotta have faith, man. You gotta have faith, man. You got to. Look, man. Troy ain't getting his 2 hours. Enough said. Hey, look, Troy, go somewhere else. You want 31 flavors? Baskin and Robbins is the place for you. You know what I'm saying? You want 2 hours? Yeah, go watch First Things First, my guy. Nah. Either way, I had a lot of fun. Had a lot of fun this episode. I'm gonna say that it's only my second solo episode. It's my favorite. I think it's the best. I think I did better than the first time I did a solo episode. I appreciate you guys showing up and being active participants and giving me feedback, giving me some comments to put up here to respond to. Definitely shout out to Troy, shout out to Chris, shout out to everybody that showed up earlier. Really appreciate y'all every single week showing up, showing us love, and interacting with us. So until next time, link, like, subscribe. This is only entertainment. Look, the views and opinions expressed on this show are our own and nobody else's. With that said, enjoy your weekend, enjoy your weeks. We'll see you next Tuesday. Peace.